World news. Today we begin with a story about, well, something that we all need: clean water. A new report warns that for some, clean water is still centuries away. According to a water sanitation and hygiene charity, WaterAid International, nearly 850 million people lack clean water, and the world looks set to miss a global goal to provide drinking water and adequate sanitation for everyone by 2030. 7 African countries are amongst the global 10 that will have to wait the longest for universal access to clean water, meaning people can get clean water within a half-hour round trip. At the top of the list is Djibouti. It's predicted that the whole population will have to wait until 2182 before they have basic water access. And for decent toilets for all, they'll have to wait until 3828. Congo is expected to achieve basic water access by 2057. But good sanitation facilities for the whole country is not expected until 2567. And the picture across the continent is complex. Access to water and sanitation is declining in several countries, including Chad, Kenya, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe. And that's due to a number of reasons, including climate change and population growth. From our New York studio, I spoke to ChiChi Aniagolu-Okoye, the country director for WaterAid in Nigeria, and began by asking her to clarify these figures.
Well, it came from research, a combination of research from ourselves, from the United Nations, from the World Bank, and it clearly shows that we have a catastrophe in water and sanitation on the continent.
Well, I mean, for a country like Djibouti, which you mentioned in your report, I mean, you say provision of toilets for its citizens could take almost 20 centuries. I mean, that's mind-boggling.
Yes, that is only if the country continues to provide services at the level it is at the moment.
Are you just trying to scare these countries into doing something?
No, not at all. I mean, it is a serious situation. And the reason we're raising the alarm is because the water and sanitation situation of those countries has implications for all the sustainable development goals.
And what exactly are you saying they should do about it?
If the countries, first of all, recognize that this is a problem, and there is the political will, which I think is the most important thing, to address the issue. We've done it with other diseases. We can have the ministries of water resources with education and health and environment all coming together collectively to address the problem. The second thing, of course, is financing. And this is where the international community will be required, because a lot of the funds that are required to change the situation or to reverse the trend is not something that many African countries themselves can afford.
Are you seeing any of this political will at all from the countries who are not doing so well to probably change their tactics and try to achieve this particular SDG?
Yes, indeed, there is some progress being made. I mean, we have to, first of all, acknowledge the fact that over 800 million people were able to get access to water and sanitation under the Millennium Development Goals. I think that it's important for us to know that while these statistics are dire, that it is possible to do something about them, and that some countries are doing something about them. For instance, you find that on the continent, Ethiopia and Rwanda are going to meet the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, if they continue at the pace that they are. Of course, they're going to need support to make that happen, in the shortest possible time.